Our students also, I think exactly at 11 they might join.
Yeah, let them join. Just highlight what is the main subject and method and all.
How is the network that side? All right? Network.
Fairly good. Good.
Oh, sometimes here the light goes off and on. So in between, your students, they need to be patient. Sometimes. If the network this side goes on and off. Good morning. Good morning.
Good morning. Good morning to all of you.
Good morning, Father.
Good morning, Father.
Om Shanti. Om Shanti.
Om Shanti.
Okay. It's a very bright and beautiful morning today, the 1st of October. And tomorrow we have the biggest celebration, remembrance of our father, Mahatma Gandhi. So before that, we have come here on 1st of October to have a virtual talk from Dr. Sandhya Rai. So I will introduce her to you. Before that, we would like to have a small prayer. I will say a small prayer. Then we will get into this process of the virtual talk. Let us close our eyes and lift our hearts and mind to God Almighty and surrender ourselves, our joys and sorrows, our happiness, our unhappiness, our strength and weaknesses, our hopes and aspirations to the Lord, and pray to Him that all that we do, all that we aspire to do today may be blessed, that God may grace us. The Almighty will take our hand, hold our hand to walk in the journey that we would like to walk today. That He will guide in every steps of our movement, day and night, our work, our life, that He is a source of life, source of blessing. That He will continue to shower His graces and blessing upon us and our families, so that each of our family members are safe and sound during this pandemic lockdown. That God may be caring for us, loving us, and helping us to reach our destination with His help and with His benevolence. We make this prayer through Your holy name. Amen. Thank you, Dr. Sandhya Rai and my dear students. So I would like to welcome Dr. Sandhya Rai with a bouquet. So this is a bouquet that I have. It's a bouquet I have. I presume that she received it. Okay. Okay, thank you. So a word or two about Dr. Sandhya Rai. Sandhya Rai is my own professor while I was doing my B.Ed in Namchi, Sikkim. Loyola College of Education, Namchi, Sikkim. I did my B.Ed in 2003-04. In the year 2003-04, she was my professor. And I would say a wonderful professor, a well-researched professor. Subject knowledge is so profound, subject knowledge is so deep that she can, within a given time, 15 minutes, she would be able to give a beautiful analysis of any topic. Sandhya Rai, Dr. Sandhya Rai has done MSc in zoology, and done M.Ed, NET, and PhD. Her expertise are peace education, value education, and moral education, and promotion of spirituality in our academic endeavor. She was a principal of Loyola College of Education from the year 2015 to 2019. She was the first lay principal of that college in the history of that college because of her long service and dedicated service to the Society of Jesus and the college. And she is born in Darjeeling, I think Darjeeling. Her house's family is living in Darjeeling. She is a bachelor, Brahma Kumari. So she is a bachelor, and her whole life is dedicated to God, to the peace and the reconciliation of the human being towards God and His humanity and His creation. So when she talks from her heart. She is not a heady person. She is a heart level person where everything comes from her heart. I had very good experience with her as a student, as I am her student. I had very good rapport with her, and I worked with her very closely. And after she became principal, I went to give a seminar to her students. Then we went together to Gangtok to give a workshop to the on-roll teachers for a couple of days. And when I stayed with her and closely worked with her, I could realize her personal integrity, so much integrated person, so honest, sincere, humble, and very, very simplest person to have access to her and relate with her. And I never had hesitation to talk to her anytime and every time because it's a source of joy for me to talk to her and interact with her. And today we are lucky to have her to talk to us on human re-engineering. It's a very new topic for us, but she has been dealing with this topic for several years, how a human being can reinvent himself, herself, re-innovate herself or himself, re-find herself and himself with a whole reality of God and nature and our human race. So this is her topic. So we'll be enjoying her talk today and interact with her next 1.5 hours. So I welcome you, madam, and I very grateful to you for having given me the time with the permission of Francis, the principal, that you are able to come online to interact with us. Thank you very much. Welcome. Welcome. Over to you.
Thank you. Before I begin today's talk, I also would like to give a heartfelt thanks to Father Tony Rice, Dr. Father Tony Rice, for giving me this a wonderful opportunity to interact with your students, those who are there in Jamshedpur, different places. And towards the end, I think we might be busy with the either interaction or with some other activities. So in the beginning only, I would like to give my heartfelt thanks, gratitude once again to Father Dr. Tony Raj. And now I can begin my session with taking the permission and also the blessings from Almighty Father. We are all beginning our session. And what I'm going to talk today, as Father has already pointed out, that today's topic is on the human re-engineering, or here mostly we cannot engineer others, but we can engineer our own way of thinking, our own way of doing the work, etc. So this part I will be highlighting. And for that, I have prepared certain figures, pictures, not exactly in the form of PowerPoint, but it's in the form of a series of a PDF file only. So I would like to share that screen. And I welcome one and all to take the advantage of this session. And as you listen to this talk, as well as you will witness certain graphics or visuals. So if you come across any kind of crux, some problem is there where even the matter is not clear, you may note it down. And at the end of the session, you can place that matter. We'll try to simplify that further. And with this, I begin the session, and I would like to share the material. With that material, I like to begin the session. Okay, so I hope you can see this screen. Virtual talk on human re-engineering, or in another term, we can say it is a kind of a self-management and leading ourselves in the present time, where we are witnessing lots of changes. And first of all, let us see this word, the word management only. This management, if we break this word into some meaningful words, we can find like this: man here, management, man, and plus age plus main plus T. So here MA in man, man is a singular number, single person. And before, and then another man also you can see here, MEN, and there it's a plural number. So we as a teacher or would be a teacher, aspiring teacher, we have learned types of management, or maybe you are in the process of learning the management techniques, especially the classroom management, management, some resource management, like that only. So here in this talk, it will more focus and then how to manage myself, because before managing the plural people, plural number, other people, we must be able to manage ourselves. And for that, re-engineering is required. And for that, the next word, age is reflected here in this segregation of the word age. So in this age, we need not only that chronological age, but it's related with the word courage. To manage oneself before I manage the other human being, say our students or the other learners, we must be able to manage oneself, and for that we need courage. So this age stands for the word courage also. So everybody, all of us who are listening to this or witnessing this talk, has got the courage to manage oneself. This one reflective question to yourself. So everyone needs to courage to manage oneself. Second meaning of that age, I would like to say about the maturity. We need to have a kind of a maturity, intellectual maturity. To what extent I should be able to manage myself in this changing time? To what in what way I can change myself? So what type of flexibility do I have? What kind of a maturity do I need to have? So that also is denoted by this word age. So for the age, one is that maturity. This is the tiny, tiny, small things which we do with ourselves. We in our own sphere of work field, or let us say inside the home we are sitting alone. At times we are doing one or other thing. So that to what extent maturity we are doing that. So that maturity is also very easy to manage oneself. And another age is reflected with another word, that is deep experiences. So we need to have the experiences. We are gaining experiences. All the deep interaction, whether you are sitting alone, writing something, or you are talking to someone else. So that time also we are gaining the experience. We are enriching ourselves with the experiences. But we have to reflect on that. All those experiences which we are um, doing, do you think these experiences are creative ones? Because the creative experiences always lead the human being towards the right path. If experience is bitter one, we try to put ourselves back. We want to withdraw from situations. We do not want to move forward. So here, this age what is denoted with these creative experiences too. So this courage, maturity, and these experiences will help us to manage ourselves, and so that we'll be able to manage other human beings. And for manage the other human beings, we need to have lots of techniques. We need to have lots of skills. And some of the skills in this present changing time, maybe it may be our um, perseverance, maybe our um, intuition, or it may be our um, creative experiences related with the loss of courage. So combined factors. So this type of things, the courage, I talk about certain values like courage and that maturity, and also the emotions and intuitions or perseverance or patience or the right way of discerning between right and wrong, a permanent and the temporary one. So these type of skills, these type of values we need to possess, we need to have. And for that, really we need to have that uh, yeah, thorough understanding of ourselves. So for that, I am beginning now. One axis is showing the success, and another one is showing the time. So time. So along with the time, we need to progress. So here in this graph, you can see the letters like A, B, C, D, E, like that. So here, this graph is showing that we have to shift from the old paradigm to new paradigm. Now, NCF, National Curriculum Focus 2005, also has emphasized, and including this NPE 2020 is also emphasizing that now the in education field, this all the old systems, old paradigm has to be shifted into the new paradigm. So if that means it's a kind of a change. So here, to denote that success in the due course of the time, every human being or every even living or object, living organism in this world, they are going through these stages of A, B, C, D, E, like that. So for example, let us say a newly born child, and he or she, that baby is in the A phase, where he will get plenty of love and affection from his family members, from mother, father, and other family members. So with that nurturing, with that supply of the pure love, care from the family member, the baby starts to grow and becomes 1 year old, and then 2 years old, like that. He or she starts to grow. So he or she reaches the B phase, that is the growth phase. And when the child becomes at the age of 2.5 or 3 or 4 years old, so that time the family member, either the parents or the other family member, starts to think, now this child has to be sent to the school. And a child may not be aware of it, but the child will be taken to the schools, nursery schools, where in the new environment the child has to face. So that environment, what he was enjoying at home from his parents, from the other family member, that may not be equally available in that new situation in the school. So that time the child will face a kind of a kind of a change there. And in that change, if that child masters the change, accept that new environment in the school, so that time the child will grow further. But if the child denies to go to that school, in the school environment with the new teachers, the child does not like that environment. In the beginning, lots of chaotic situation will be arise for the child. All the new faces, new environment, new teachers are there, new other group of children are also will be there. So in such environment, the child will have a very tough time. So that is the changing time, change phase. So that time, if the child accepts that environment, or if the school or the teachers are able to make the adjustment for that child, by creating the proper environment in the school, so the child will adapt in that situations, and the child will go further ahead. So move ahead means the child will accept that new environment in the schools, the child starts to grow. But if the child denies to go to the schools every day, after 5 years old or after 6 years, reaching 6 years of age also, if the child does not go to the school, so the child growth will be a kind of a declination. It is going in the downward directions. So the here the we can say the child is not becoming a successful person in that cases. But if the child accepts that new environment, and in the beginning or lots of adjustment he or she has to take place, and with the help of the teachers and the other members of the schools, the child accepts and starts to grow and goes to schools regularly and passes that class 1, 2, 3, 4, like that continuously. This type of graph, A to B, B to C. Then again, a little bit of a D. There is a chaotic phase, and then again, another curve will develop and goes up like this. So in this way, this kind of, if this look at the curve of this shape of this curve, you will find somewhat like that of S. So this type of S curve is a curve of success. Along with the time, the child is moving forward, or any human being, not only the child, any human being, along with the certain phases of the time, we have to undergo a certain changes, chaotic phases. Then again, we accept it, adapt it, adjust to it, and further we grow. So here, S curve 1, S curve 2,
Jennifer ma'am. Hello.
Hello? Hello?
Yes, Father.
What happened? Nobody's there?
Yes, Father, we are.
Yes, Father, we are here.
What happened to madam?
Don't know, Father.
Electricity problem, something like that?
Yes, Father.
Okay. Hello? Good morning, madam. No, it is in that brochure. Okay. Okay, I'll send the link. But now the electricity is not there. But any of they can join. No problem. I'll send it now. I'm sending it. I'm sending. Madam, what happened? Giving class where? Here or in your college? Then light must have come now, no? Now you can join. I have no idea. You could have. You would know, no, immediately. And now you can join again. Same thing. Join again. Yeah. You join now. I will extend the time. Don't worry. No. You join. You join now, and then we'll. Just hold on. Madam is reconnecting. There is some problem. Internet connectivity problem. Please join. Please join. We'll wait. Come fast. You can put it your hotspot also, no? Now electricity is there. Then you please come back. Click the same link. You'll be there. No. Begin wherever. Okay. No, doesn't matter. You know, you start something somewhere. Yeah, yeah, yeah. Start. No problem. That anyone. You talk to them. Put on your mic and talk to them. They will tell you. Yeah, you just switch on your mic. Switch on your mic here. And right. Now you talk.
Okay, where did we get disconnected? Shall I begin from the beginning?
Yeah, yeah,
Oh,
yeah. Students, there was some electricity problem because of which madam couldn't remain connected, but she will take as long as she wants. Don't worry. You keep going. Yes, madam. Start.
okay. Okay, so I'm sharing the certain figure, certain diagrams to you. Share the screen, start broadcast. So I was talking, sir, these changes is done.
Yeah, this is done.
Yeah. So this reaction to changes.
You start from here. Reaction to changes. Yes.
Okay,
You
so
can start
change.
from here.
Yeah, I'm starting from here once again. I have already reached so other areas anyway. So reactions to change in the changing scenario, the people they respond to the changes in these 5 different ways. One is that first reactions. Some people they ignore the necessity for the change. They do not like to change. They would like to live with their own old paradigm, old way of living only. So such type of people, in the due course of the time, they will be already outdated. They may not be able to adjust in the changing scenario. So second category of the group people is the people they accept the necessity, but they have the fear of leaving the status quo. Means they do not like to leave their old habits. Meaning they want to remain with their comfort zone only. And such type of people, they in the due course of the time, they also become a useless only. They will be living with their own the past habits, past way of thinking. So that may not be helpful for them. And third category of the people, they will show such kind of a reaction that they accept the necessity that change has to take place, but they pretend to change. They pretend to do their change will be a temporary one or artificial one. And such type of people are deceiving themselves and they can create the problem for others. They will see change, but actually in the reality they haven't changed. And fourth category, the group of the people, they accept the change, but they don't know how to change. What type of skills, in what way do I need to change? They don't know. So such type of people, the result will be that they will commit lots of mistakes. They are trying to change, but their changes are they are not sure what type of changes they are taking place. So in the name of the change, they will commit many mistakes. So, and fifth category of the people are they accept the change, they analyze them, and they prepare an action plan step by step how the changes do I need to take place within me for regarding a particular scenario or situations. So such type of people they can survive the change and they can open the way for others.
So that means they can be a leader. They can be an example for others because they have simplified the change process, and simple changes they are bringing in them, and that can be a very good result in the long run. Meaning they can master that change and they can lead a very good life. So these type of 5 type of responses are displayed by the people in this world regarding the changes or reaction to the changes and their results. Now, you all have to reflect on that in which category do I belong to? A category, ignoring the change, B, accepting the change, but you are afraid to change also. Sometimes you know, the comfort zone you do not want to leave. Then third category, accept the change, but artificially only they do bring about the changes. Fourth category, they accept the change but don't know the changes. And category, accept changes and supervise the changes. So under which category you belong to? So this is the reflection you have to do. As I talk, so time in between you can reflect on it also. And I was already in this uh, area that knowingly or unknowingly, a different type of changes we are taking place in our oneself. So here in the form of a pyramidic way, structures, it has been shown the different labels of changes. First level of changes at the ground level you can see as behavioral changes. And these behavioral changes, it is also known as the change at the level of our action. As in this is usually happens like suppose you are sitting together, and now we are not supposed to sit together at least two do gach ka duri, like in that we have to maintain, but due to some other our old habit, you are coming together and sitting quite close by. So that time, if the policeman comes or if the teacher comes, so that time immediately you try to move, maintain that particular distance for the time being. And as the teacher moves out or the police goes, again you come closer. So that type of actions is the change at the level of our behavior only. And that type of behavior is a behavioral changes is a temporary change. It is temporary, it is not helpful. It is for just showing off only. Like some people who chew the tobacco, look they want to hide it and chew the tobacco. So but like if their guardian comes and they were making that tobacco, so that immediately they hide it, or the people who are going to smoke, they immediately hide that cigarette. So that type of changes also people are bringing. And this is an example only. And like this type of changes, you have to observe in our own life what type of changes I'm bringing out. So this, if it is only changes at the level of our action or a temporary behavior, and that change is not going to help you in the long run. So this is not healthy one. Second type of change is the intellectual change, a change at the level of our intellect. So intellect in Hindi we call it buddhi. So our intellect always tries to look for the fault or the always want others to change first, not me. I feel I'm okay. A teacher always wants the students to change, and students always wants the teachers to change, like that. So this is a kind of a conflict. It's always taking place. And in our personal life also, we are trying to bring about the changes at the level of our intellect. So to understand this aspect, I would like to cite one instances. One battleship, it was sailing in the sea. And in the midnight, suddenly it faces a kind of a sea storm, cyclone. So in the strong cyclone, it loses its course, its path in which direction it was going. Usually, the navigators they carry the compass, and with the help of compass, they make the decision, then sorry, direction of that ship clear, and north direction or east direction, in which direction the ship was supposed to move. So, with the help of that compass, they move. But uh, when that battleship, when it faces, it comes in the scenario of that cyclonic scene. So that time it loses its path, and early morning that ship will, that the weather becomes calm, and the is it okay? So that time that ship will okay. I'm continuing. The ship, the captain of that ship, along with the officers, the captain gives the order to the officer. Okay, our ship has lost our course, our path in which direction it is moving. Now adjust that compass and again relocate our directions. So captain gives the order to the officers, and officers listens to that order, and they'll readjust that compass and changes that ship course by 20-degree east. And when that ship is moved towards the 20-degree east, in that direction, from the opposite side, another light they can see from far away. And the officers, they feel, oh, from that direction, in which direction they have molded that ship, from that directions, another ship is also coming. So they immediately gives this message to their captain. And captain says, give that ship which is coming from opposite direction the instruction, please change that course by 20-degree east, so that that ship if comes nearer to that battleship, so that it will not get collide. So to avoid the accident, they pass that message to the another ship which is coming from the another direction. They assume that there is a ship because of that light. But from that side, opposite side, the flashing message comes. It is advisable the ship, the first ship, the battleship, they have to change their course by 20-degree east rather. Then that message is given to captain, and captain feels furious. Then he shows his position. Captain, it's a kind of a what position. It's a big position, and you just officers, you just give instruction to the another ship that the captain of the ship is giving the instructions that the ship which is coming from opposite side, they have to change their directions. Then officer does that part, and immediately from opposite side, other side, the answer comes. This is second class seaman, but it still gives the instruction to the ship which is coming from that side, east side. They have to change their course, and officer passes that message to the captain of the battleship. Then captain of the battleship becomes furious. The captain is giving order, but other side, opposite side, second class seaman is giving the reply. So in such cases, that captain finally uses another weapon. That is that this is a battleship. Officer, you just tell that second class seaman from the opposite directions that this is a battleship. Battleship never changes its course. Then the officers immediately gives that message to the opposite side, and from the opposite side the message comes. What is the message? I am a lighthouse. I cannot change my direction. I cannot change my course. That message comes. That time, the captain of that battleship realizes, oh yes, that lighthouse is a static one, stable one. It cannot change its course. Now, though it is a battleship, I only, this our ship only has to change the course by further 20 degree. Finally, the captain realizes and changes their battleship, further 20-degree east. See, in this interactions between the captain of the battleship and the second class seaman is a simple lighthouse only. Here, lots of exchange of their opinion took place regarding the change. And finally, the captain realizes that other sides is unchangeable. It cannot be changed. So after realizing that only, that battleship is changing its course. So that type of change here, when the intellect accepted that this is the change that only I can take place, but other side cannot change. So after realizing that time only, the changes are taking place. And this type of changes are also not so helpful in the life. Lots of time is gone away, time is wasted, conflict, no, so it's a time taking and the change also not so healthy one. So this type of changes we don't know in our life also how many times we are doing. So we have to be careful about it. Usually it happens with our students, no? Our students should change. We should understand the students. So lots of intellectual activity we have been doing. So there also changes are taking place, and we have to analyze it. And now a third label of these changes here, you can see it is change at the level of our emotions. So emotions, from the morning you get up and till you go to the bed in the night. So within that span of the time, what type of emotional gameplay is going on within ourselves only. In the morning you get up, happy mood, you dreamed well. Yes, father?
Your voice is not so loud. You have to increase your volume.
Okay.
Increase your volume and speak high tone, high pitch.
I will use the then
Mic, whatever.
mic, no?
High pitch, yeah.
Mic our students they don't like. It gets echoed.
Just ask the audience whether they can hear you. That's all.
Hello, hello, hello,
Yeah.
hello, hello. Hello. Hello, is it audible now? Hello, audible? I hope it is audible.
Yes, ma'am, it's audible.
Okay, thank you. Hello, hello, hello. Okay, so I was talking about the different level of changes. Just now, I was talking about the changes at the level of our emotions. So our emotions from the morning till you go to the bed, or even in the dreams, we are playing with our emotions. So early morning you got up, you dreamed well, and you slept well, very fresh. The mind is very happy. Suppose and you go to the washroom. In the washroom, you want to get freshen up. So at that time, you will find you open the tap. In the tap, there is no water. So what happens to your mood? You got a very pleasant mood. Weather is also so nice, happy. But when you go to the washroom, there is no water in the tap. What happens to your emotions? Hmm? And anyhow, you manage whatever water was there in the bucket or in that reservoir. You use that one. Then you come to the kitchen to take a glass of tea. So the tea, somebody gives the tea to you, or you prepare tea and you started taking tea. And that time the phone call comes, and in that phone call, the sad news is there. Okay, but just now also, the sound is not audible to you. I think your emotion is fluctuating. Oh, what? From that side there is, she's speaking, not audible, not audible. So that time also you just check the emotion is changing. Sometimes we are becoming happy and sometimes angry, sometimes irritated, sometimes again very loving, like that. Throughout the day, if you check your own emotions, lots of fluctuation is going on. Kabhi khushi, kabhi gum. Happy and sad, angry, jealous. So like that. So you cannot deny this is happening within us. So it is just like a tube light which is flickering. Here, this side, the tube light, sometimes light is going on and off. So if that tube light is doing like that, flickering, you cannot do the work with full concentrations because it's flickering and you cannot fully focus on your work also. But if it is a stable one, in the night the tube light is burning very stably. So in such cases, you can do the work perfectly. But if it is flickering, you cannot do. So same thing happens with our emotions. So if the emotion is a stable one, we can be very constructive. We can do very good work. But if the emotion is fluctuating, kabhi khushi, kabhi gum, kabhi what to say, kabhi growth, kabhi jealous, like that. So in such cases, that is not that kind of change. We consider it is not a healthy one. It is not good one. It's not permanent changes, and it will not. It's not productive type of changes. So this here we have to be very careful in our emotions. And that level of is known as the change at the level of our consciousness. What do you mean by conscious? Hmm? Mind. It is related with our feeling part. We feel now once we think and we start feeling on it also. Good feeling, bad feeling, so like that. So consciousness is also chetna. And this consciousness in simple psychological term, it is the state of the mind. And this state of the mind is determined by our feelings. And that feelings is determined by our thought. Thought. So if good thought is generated, then our consciousness, the feeling also becomes good. If the bad thought is generated, our consciousness, feeling also becomes bad, sad. It depends. And that feeling will decide our attitude. What is attitude? Attitude is the state of so that makes our attitude either positive or the negative. Hindi, it is also known as the britti. Everyone has how we look at the how we see the other matters or the event or the any object. How do we see it, perceive? So that is called perceptions. And this drishtikon. And this perceptions, as is our perception, so is our behavior. So that behavior is also known as the kriti and our action. And that behavior, if we continuously behave in this particular style, so that will make our personality. Here, one more word we can add in between this behavior and memory is personality. And as is our personality, so we start to collect the informations from outside the world, and it will strengthen our memory. It becomes a part of our memory. Or here, the attitude will decide our perception. Perception decides our behavior, and that behavior will strengthen our memory. So, vritti se drishti, drishtikon se kriti, action, and our actions, our memory or smriti, it is informed. So, this and as is our memory, so we starts to generate thoughts. So this cycle goes on, and this part you will understand better by another example. Simple example I'm giving, and I was here just now before that light got connected. I was talking and talking going on. I thought you were listening. Nobody was responding. Okay, so one lady was going in a market, uh, let us say last week, and in front of her, like 100 steps ahead, one old man was also moving in the same direction. And that old man suddenly hears the barking dog sound. And, and from some streets, some other corners, the number of street dogs comes out and starts to bark at that old man. And that old man starts to run away, and the barking dogs follows that old man. And in the mid of the street, they attacked that old man. And poor old man looks for the help. And some people around in that area, they assemble and they rescue that old man from the attack of that group of the street dogs. So in such cases, the old man is taken to the hospital by the people. And the lady who was just 100 steps behind that old man witnessed that particular scene. But she did nothing. She did not rescue the old man. She did not take him to hospital. Nothing happened. She simply witnessed that particular scene. And that scene was recorded in her memory. The next week, a normal week, she was also going to the town once again. And she was very normal going. Then as she was walking, that time she hears some barking dog again, sound. And that time, immediately the last week's event comes in her mind. And that time, what happens? She hears some sound just behind her, and she looks behind. She finds that one dog is there following her. Simple dog. Now her consciousness is changed. Consciousness, mental state of the mind, feeling is changed. Danger now. She feels danger. And the attitude, before 1 week, attitude towards the dog was a neutral one. With the dog, she never get affected. A dog, buzz, like that. But today, what is happening to her? Her attitude towards the dog is changed. Oh, dog is behind me. Attitude changed, attitude became negative. And perception. Then whenever she sees the dog, she will not see the dog. Oh, what dog, what a loyal animal, what a lovely animal it is. It is harmless. No, that perception will not be there. The perception, drishtikon towards the dog, her way of looking at the dog is different now. Danger, like that. So the perception is changed. And what happens to our behavior? Behavior. Stone or a stick to chase that dog, or she will run away from the dog. The behavior is changed. Earlier, so many dogs used to go and come on the street. She used to walk normally, but today it is changed. Either she's looking for the stone or the stick to beat that dog. The behavior is changed. And runningly, she goes finally after running from that situation. She goes to her friend's house. In friend's house, there is a gate. In the gate, there is a doorbell. She presses the doorbell. The friend comes little late. 5 minutes later, appears there. And she was waiting. Within that 5 minutes, she looks at the gate. In the gate, there is one board. Beware of dog, it is written. Let's see what happens to her situation now. She has seen the dog. She has chased the dog. Now she wants to save herself and goes to friend's house. In the friend's house, waiting for the friend. Within that 5 minutes, she finds that notice board, beware of dog. Situation is danger for her. Then finally, friend comes and opens the gate and takes her friend to the drawing room. In the drawing room, see, there is a nice, comfortable sofa. And in that sofa, she doesn't go and sit immediately as earlier she used to do. She finds in the sofa one pet dog of her friend is sitting there. She cannot sit in that comfortable sofa. She cannot sit comfortably also now. Totally behavior is changed. See, that small incident. And every time, next time, whenever she sees the dog, the same scenario appears in her mind. Her consciousness changed, her attitude changed, her perception changed, her behavior changed, and in her memory, she is keeping that negative record of that particular event. She witnessed that old man was attacked by the group of the street dogs, and it was recorded in our memory. And from there, the thought is generated, and this cycle of consciousness to attitude, perception, behavior, and memory goes on continuously. So this way, the change in at the level of our consciousness is going on. And we don't know how many such type of scenario we are witnessing from morning till you go to bed. Nowadays, no need to go to the street. The cell phone is enough. There we get all kinds of scene and scenario. So how much changes are taking place in our consciousness, attitude, perceptions, behavior, and memory, and thought pattern, and so on. Okay, I would like to give another example also to understand this one. So what I cited just now, that was a kind of a cycle is going in the negative way. Attitude towards the dog became negative. Perception towards the dog became negative. Behavior towards the dog also became negative. And the information recorded in the memory also negative. And from the negative information, thoughts are generated negative. And negative thoughts decided, or the feeling or consciousness, that also became negative. So this way, we cannot be free from the cycle of the negativity. Let us say another example. There was one boss storm. It was written a boss storm there, and people were waiting for the bus. And among the people in that group who were waiting for the bus, there was one man also with three kids, and all three kids were below the age of 6 years. And after some time, the bus comes, and they get inside the bus. And inside the bus, there were plenty of seats, extra seats were there, and very few passengers were there. And seeing that empty seats, all the three children who were below 6 years old, they started to run from one seat to another seat. Some of them were trying to get the window seat, like that. So in such cases, some of the passengers that were sitting inside the bus, they get irritated. What type of children these are? They are. And they don't know, they don't have that proper behavior also, manner also, how to sit inside the bus. They are creating a problem here. So that way they starts to think. And the attitude towards the children of those passengers starts to become negative. Oh, these children restless, perception, they do not look at the children with love. Their behavior, if the children touches their knee, also they try to remove their hand, like that. So that way they are behaving, or the passenger starts to behave. And one of the passenger becomes quite restless, and sees that one man with whom those three children got inside that bus. So that one man said, "Are these three children are yours?" That man says, "Yes." Are you the father of these children? Yes. Then you don't know. You haven't taught your children how to be seated inside a moving bus. See, they are moving, they are disturbing. Then the father says, father of that three children says, "No, right now I myself am not able to manage. How can I manage my these three children?" Then, with this information, the person who was inquiring, the passenger, becomes little interested. What happened? That time, the father figure says, "Just now, I am coming from a hospital. In the hospital, my wife died, and all these three children, all below 6 years old, they were not knowing what is the death. Their mother is dying, and in the hospital also they were running like that. So I thought I will reach these children to my home and look for the other neighbors, and I will leave them with them, and I'll come back and I'll take the dead body of my wife." So by thinking this much only, I'm going towards my home. That father figure says. After listening this information, the passenger who was getting restless and were complaining about the children's behavior, that passenger's attitude changes towards the child. Towards the child. Oh, poor children, they don't know, they have lost their mother. So that way he started to think. And other passengers also come to know about it. And that time, some of the passengers, they took out the biscuits which is there inside their bag. Poor children, their mother died, and now they must not be uh, fed up properly. Also, they must be feeling hungry. So they take out their biscuits or whatever edible items they have with them, and they starts to give it to the children. So the behavior is changed now towards the children. See, earlier they were getting irritated, and now after listening all these things, their behavior became positive changes. They start showing compassion. So that way, their negative attitude, consciousness, perception, behavior, memory, and thought all changed. So now, those who are listening to it can think about it. This cycle, it's continuous process. Where do we break this cycle? From where we can make this cycle from negative to positive? And this changes continuously within us. Every second, every day it is happening. But are we aware of it? Questions to you. Next, like in America, USA, the one study, research study was done. In that research study, it was mentioned that the children they remain inside their home during free time with their some other maid servants, and the parents, because of meeting the living standard in the foreign country, both of them are working, they are going outside in the job, so during late hour only they are coming to home. So the we empower our memory. So we are getting the information from the outer world with our five sense organs. Our all five sense organs, eyes, ears, nose, taste buds, and skins are busy in collecting the information. And from there, we are collecting the information and depositing it in our wonderful, subtle memory of our personality. And that memory, if we are giving the positive information in our memory, then our memory will be full with the positive informations, and that positive information will always initiate to generate the positive thoughts. If that positive thought generates, then our consciousness also becomes positive, and attitude, perception, behavior again becomes the positive. So here we have to become very, very careful by looking at our cell phone, looking at the program of our television from the morning, what type of input we are giving to our memory. Are we really empowering our memory, or really we are destroying our memory? So here the real re-engineering is required. So it is said that early morning hour, it's not good to read the newspaper. Presently, the newspaper are full with the surkiyas, headlines, and all those headlines are not the positive information. I'm not telling you to stop reading the newspaper, stop watching the television, stop watching the programs which is being given in the social media or the other media. But here we have to be careful for ourselves that now whole my cycle I have to change, I have to make positive. So I must feed myself with the positive information and look for the sources of the positive information. In the morning, we can, in the TV also, good programs are there. We can feed ourselves with that good information. We can read the good books. We can read the good columns, even inside that newspaper, where the good articles are there, that we have to read. So this is one of the examples for you. We have to be careful how to empower our memory, how we are feeding, what type of input we are giving to our memory. And this is very, very subtle and real changes which are occurring in us, and that is causing a lot of all this. So we have to be careful. Let's move ahead. Here, in this daytime or in the evening near to God. Just you need not go to the particular temple or inside that chapel only, but you can remain in your own place wherever you are. Even you are doing traveling inside the garden. Also, you can sit for a while and just check our thought. Is it okay? Is that thought necessary? If it is not necessary, I will not generate that thought. And I remember Father. I remember my mother, Father, who is the supreme source of all the positive energy. Automatically, that energy starts to flow within us. And that energy always flows from higher to lower level. So he is always there, available right now. So we have to be in always constant touch with him to rectify, to re-engineer, to reinvent ourselves and put ourselves in the right track. And when we are always in the right track, a right way of living, right way of thinking, then we can help our students, our learners, or our juniors, or even our family members in the right path, in the right directions. We really can lead a beautiful life and we can become a self-management manager and leader. So let us work here in Sikkim also. My students are also working with this. And today they have joined along with the Jamshedpur Loyola College students. And we all let us work together to make the society a quality one. So lots of love and regards from this land of orchids, a beautiful place, Sikkim. It's a land of Kanchenjunga, the third highest mountain of the world. And let our thought also be very pristine, just like that of Kanchenjunga, and also very high frequency, high quality, always, so that we always be a positive one, even in this changing scenario. So with this, I wind up this today's session. Thank you very much. Om Shanti. If you have any queries, I think I have taken more time and hope it is useful to you. And any queries, you can ask how is the provision Father must have made, and like that we can move ahead.
Hello, the house is open to you now. Sleeping? Some of you can give feedback or you can say something. And with this, we wind up the session. Anything you want to ask the question, you unmute it and you can ask. I hope you are attending the session or not. Not at the label of our that behavior, lower level of changes is taking place within you. Keeping the cell phone on.
Good afternoon, ma'am.
Good afternoon, dear.
Ma'am, I'm Lipika from Loyola College of Education, Jamshedpur. I want to ask that in this present COVID situation, I'm in a process to become a teacher. So virtually, what changes I should imbibe in me so that in technological field, by using those technological equipments like forming notes, presentations, all this, how I should balance my knowledge with that so that I could shower a processed PPT knowledge also, and with that, the qualities also towards the students?
Very nice question. Here, this technologically, we have to empower ourselves because now the online, this digital mode of transaction is being emphasized, and in the days to come, also, I think it will continue. So here, technologically, we have to be sound. We have to practice. Nowadays, in the YouTube, also many things are being given, openly sharing, and from there also we can learn. And even from your friends, also those who knows, from there also you can learn. You can make the PowerPoint. You can make the even video classes also and record it and upload in the YouTube, or like this, or live also you can give. But at the same time, we should not forget that I am the peaceful being. I am very loveful being. Whenever I make the video, I should not get irritated. Why this? What type of situation has come? I have to do so much of work, and like grumbling, no. So that time, all our that change is negative. Change is happening. Attitude, perceptions, behavior is becoming negative, and to students, we are trying to project that positivity. We want to give the lessons, but our situation is, our own internal mechanism is becoming negative. So here we have to keep the balance. I will make these things very happily. I will do this task very lovingly. I will make this PowerPoint at peaceful mode. That thought we can generate and train ourselves. I will work it very coolly, calmly. I will present today's lessons very nicely, comfortably. In the beginning only we can do that practice. Lots of rehearsal is required. And you that if you feel afraid, you call, invite God also. You come and you utilize me, and I am very peaceful. And now you are the energy of the all the ocean of peace, and that peace is to be showered through this instrument, through me today. And that way also you can make a very good relationship with God, and in the mind to mind talk, and then you can present the lesson. Usually, what is happening? I have to prepare the lesson plan in the constructivist style. This what type of changes this we have to take place? So we start grumbling and doing the work. First, feeding ourselves with negative emotions and a negative way of feeling, and we start doing the work positive. So this is mismatch. Energy, like integrity, has to be there. What we think, what we do, what we speak, it should go together, matching. But nowadays, what is happening? We are thinking differently, doing differently. So that's why that class may not be impactful. It may not be effective. I hope, Lipika, I answered your questions.
Yes, ma'am. Thank you so much, ma'am.
Thank you, dear. Anybody else? Lunchtime? Loyola Namchi? Silent? Thank you, Sunil. Thank you. Some of you find it informative, and this information is to be converted into knowledge. And this knowledge is to be converted into power, willpower, wisdom. It has to come into the action. Thank you, Father. I am getting many responses from your students. Thank you, like that, Rosalie.
Okay.
Yeah.
So you got so many thank you. Okay, Felix.
Okay, Father. Good afternoon, everyone. I am honored and lucky.
Okay.
And we are giving like this online class.
Okay.
And depending upon our students, they are from far off West Sikkim, some remote places.
Okay.
So some of the classes are recording and uploading in the YouTube for their convenience.
Okay.
So that whenever they get their network and all, they can take the advantage of it. So that way.
Okay. Mm.
And COVID situation in Loyola, it is a very pure environment, so it's free from the danger. But if we go outside in the, we have to be careful.
Mm. Very good. So see you then. All the best.
Thank
You're
you.
going to begin the examination now.
Okay. All the best for your
Okay.
exam.
Thank you.
Coming.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Thank you.